Good afternoon, everyone. This is a surprise visit again, isn't it? I'm going to wait a little bit for you. Maybe the announcement wasn't seen, and that's one of the reasons that I've come in this afternoon. I want to thank everyone for their comments, their tremendous kindness after the impromptu and unexpected live from last week. And a lot of the comments that I received afterwards made me realise that there's clearly something amiss. And to sit here now and see that after having put up an announcement that I would be in this afternoon, that there is no one joining me, makes me question this Facebook thing even further. So I am here for a reason, again, as always, in for a reason. After last week's impromptu live, I had many messages, wonderful messages of people saying, oh my gosh, so good to see you. Where have you been? Do you still do lives? Where do we see you? I had so many messages. So, and also seeing so many of you join me on that live last week, it prompted me to want to answer you because I did answer everyone that was asking those questions. Where are you? Do you still do lives? How do we see you? Tanya, hi, how are you? I had so many messages after the impromptu live last week. The love, Natasha, see, glad to see you too. Such a lot of messages after last week's very emotional, heart-tugging live. And that's great, Tanya. And I was curious as to where everyone came from, because I don't see you on my lives. That I do every week. So people asking, do you still do a live? Where are you? Where can we see you? Which was really lovely. But I'm like, well, hello. We tell you every week where you can find the free live that you can join in. And I just wanted to come in this afternoon and say, it was a thrill to see so many of you on the live last week, and also after, the number of times that video has been watched since really surprised me and made me question something that I've known about Facebook for a while. And you see, there's a reason why I came off doing lives on Facebook. A very important reason. But I do a live. Did you know I do a live every Monday night, except public holidays and except if I'm on leave. But otherwise, every Monday night, I'm live. Hi, Jane. How are you? And we have amazing encounters, visits with archangels, with Jesus, with Fairy Queen Anastasia, with guides, with the healing angels. We have incredible visits every Monday night, and they bring through channeled guidance, they bring through healing. Sometimes people are fortunate enough to even get a personal message, and that's not what the live is about. But if it is necessary, I don't really have any say in what is given out. But we have these incredible messages that come through from these beautiful higher beings, from ascended masters. We had, now let me see if I can say his name correctly. Lord Toth is He's an Egyptian god. We had him come through one night. We've had Moses come through. Yeah, Tanya, it is, isn't it? We never know who's going to arrive. But it's free and it's uninterrupted and it doesn't have the junk that happens on Facebook. So, these channeled messages that address the collective, the concerns of the collective are really important. And we've had amazing nights on a Monday night. Now that daylight savings is gone, it's 6 p.m. Perth time, which I believe is 8 p.m. East Coast, except for Queensland. So it would be, I think, 7:30 for Queensland. I can never get it right. Is Queensland 2 hours ahead of us or 1.5? It's not that hard to work out, I think. So I wanted to come in tonight because of the feedback from last week and say, where are you? You're asking me where I am? Where are you? We tell you every week. Hi, Lee, 7:07 p.m. New South Wales, 5 o'clock. Thank you. Every week, and this is what is making me question what happens on Facebook, because we post every week to let you know that the Soul and Beyond presentation, show, whatever you want to call it, is on Monday nights, every Monday night, free, and has all these amazing visitors for you. So that's where I am, but where are you? And why aren't you there? I mean, the other question I have is, seriously, is it that difficult to click on a link and put your name in, like, bingo, there's the link. Put your, thank you. Put your name down. And the reason that we ask for the registration is, one, so I know who's joining me, because that's one of the reasons I came off Facebook. And second, so that you can actually watch anytime you like. So when you register for Soul and Beyond, you get a link, and if you say something happens and you can't make it live, then you have the link and you can watch it anytime and as many times as you want to. So when we've had the likes of Jesus, Lord Toth, Moses, who else did we have in Gandhi one night? Archangel Gabriel. We had a most beautiful session with Archangel Gabriel. My gosh. Queen Fairy Anastasia. You can watch them anytime you like. So there's a tremendous, and it's private. You can, it's not public per se. So this is where I've been. Now, my question is, if you don't know about Soul and Beyond, I'm wondering why you're not seeing those posts. And this raises the question of, what is Facebook doing? I mean, as I said, there are very important reasons why I came away from Facebook and doing lives on Facebook. And I'll continue to do that. So I'll only pop in now and again. But it was because of your responses that I thought I'll jump in tonight and have a chat and say, well, come on over and join us. Come on in to Soul and Beyond. It costs you nothing. It isn't a big deal to register, or if it is, could you let me know? I can't see why, but that's from my perspective. So if there is some kind of hassle or the link doesn't work on the post, throw us a shout out and say, hey, this is not working. Because truly you're missing some fantastic visitations, fantastic healing. Some of the healings that have come through, and now and again, as I say, I never know what's going to unfold. Some of the, and the post, do you mean, Natasha? Not a way to register on the post? see if I don't know those things and I can't fix them. So if that was the case, then I'll definitely be fixing that, because the post should actually click you straight through to be able to register. And on these nights, with these amazing visitations we have, you have the opportunity to have questions that you might have been on topics, questions, answers that you might have been seeking, and conversations you might have been having with people that are what we call a collective. Because when you think about it, when you're having a conversation with someone, it's most often something that everybody's talking about, right? Or they want to discuss, or they're looking for answers on. So the archangels call that the collective. And of course, those of you who work in the spiritual side of things know very well that the collective consciousness. And one thing that we really want to be able to bring through on the Soul and Beyond is that collective consciousness, and taking it to a higher level of consciousness, because that's what brings change to the world, change to humanity. And it's what really matters, right? Don't you think that the future of humanity is a really important thing? I mean, when you have a look at the way that, well, if I say the way the world is, it's not technically correct, because how do we know what it's like in Uganda, or what it's like in the really old parts of Bali or Thailand or Italy or Greece? We don't. We only know what we know from, if you watch mainstream media, which I really hope you don't, we only know what we know through media outlets, or watching different reports that come through, or watching documentaries and things. So our beliefs and our understanding come from those kind of things. And they're not necessarily correct, and they can create a warp in the tapestry of humanity, and the tapestry that goes around. Is it around the world, or is it across the big flat? I was having that conversation with someone the other day. It was very funny, very funny. So is the world flat, or is it round? And of course, those who say it's flat, get lumbered into the conspiracy theory camp or being a conspiracy theorist, which cracks me up. So our beliefs and our perception come from whatever conversations we're having, the kind of people we hang out with, the sort of things we watch, the sort of things we read. Unless you move yourself into a higher consciousness and stay there, then the beliefs and understanding can be quite warped. Now, around humanity, I'm going to say, not around the world, around humanity is this web of collective energy, consciousness. And it's not just one web, because there are levels, stages, and there's one more word that's escaping me, of consciousness. So we can say that there is the tapestry around humanity, but that within that tapestry, there are many levels, layers. That's the word I was looking for. Layers and different vibrations within that. So if you are one who has been doing your inner work, and you tend to move in circles of people that are on a different level of consciousness, a different level of awareness than those who believe what the media tell them, believe what the documentaries tell them, believe what the newspaper, you get the drift, right? That's a very low vibration, and it is also a vibration of the mass collective. But when you move out of that and you shift levels, shift gears, you're in a different part of that tapestry. So Facebook is deliberately designed, to hold the vibration down. And you might not think that, because you might think, well, I go to lots of spiritual people, I go and look at lots of different spiritual videos. But there's a lot of things to do with the vibration that goes behind the scenes. And this is one of the reasons that I came off Facebook. Only one of the reasons. Tears. Yeah, that's a funky Lenny Lens. Yes, Tanya. Yeah, lots of tears to the levels of consciousness. And as the world is shifting, as humanity is shifting, now I'm going to come back to that. As that is shifting, obviously it will depend on where you sit as to where you shift to. So with Soul and Beyond, I'm connecting into that higher consciousness, much higher consciousness. And that's where I live, it's where I work, and it's what I wish to bring into the world and into humanity. And now, why does it sound like I'm separating the world and humanity? Because it's taking people a long time to get their head around the fact that we are one. So at the moment, in our area over here in the southwest, there is something really, really sad that is taking place. And I can say this is something that's in my face. So it's not something that I have a belief on because of something someone has said or it's been reported on. I'm seeing it for myself. And I am actually doing some higher vibe work, asking for help with this and fixing it. Now, those of you who are on the East Coast will already know that this situation has been present over in New South Wales and Victoria, and I believe Queensland went through a spate of it. But with the floods, everyone thinks, oh, it's okay. And what I'm talking about is in the southwest of Western Australia, we are seeing rivers drying up, and they appear to be drying up overnight, which of course they haven't. They have been drying up over a period of time. But just recently, in the last couple of years, maybe the last 3 years, there has been a huge new infrastructure being put in between Perth and the southwest. And to do that, the government agreed for 300-year-old trees, for wetlands, for really, really crucial parts of our waterways to be destroyed. And now they're looking at these places going, oh, gracious, where's the water gone? And all the flora and fauna that are associated with that. Now, for people who believe in the news, believe in the systems of this world, they're like, oh, man, that must be climate change. These things happen. They're on such low vibrations. They haven't got a clue what damage this is doing to the future of you and your families. This situation, the trees down there are randomly dying. Oh, and people, these boffins, are like, oh, I wonder what's wrong. Really? So when you drive down the coast, yeah, Tanya, oh, no's right. When you drive down the coast, there is this mysterious loss of trees. It's bizarre. And throughout my life, that's my home turf down there. Never seen anything like it. Big trees here in Perth and down there are also dropping humongous branches. Now, before anybody goes, oh, yeah, well, that's what trees do. No, not like this. Yes, trees shed. Yes, trees lose branches. not like this. And this is because of the damage that is being done by the really low vibration people and those who think the government knows best. And of course, these others who hide behind a science degree, environmentalists. And yeah, do I sound angry? I am. And I'm more annoyed at the collective consciousness of the dummies, the collective consciousness of those who sit in a low vibration. And look, everyone want to say, wow, she's not a very spiritual person, making judgment. Well, it's a fact. Facts are facts. It is very sad to see Tanya Fish and Jilgis and Marin that have all collected together in little tiny bits of water that are left, and they're suffocating to death. Never before. So when I speak out and say things like environmentalists, government and so forth, it's a fact. It's not about not being spiritual. It's not about judgment. It's a fact. If these people really knew what they were doing and had humanity's future and the world's future in their best interest, these things would not be happening. So for those of you who aren't aware, you might like to do some research on how much water the government allows mining companies to take from the earth. So in the area down south where everything is dying, seriously dying, there have been numerous mining companies suddenly popping up, and I will also say some that have been quietly kind of, in the background so that people don't actually know they're there. And then we've got the overpopulation. So in our southwest, we have towns called Dunsborough, Busselton, Margaret River, Yellingup. Now, they have always been quaint, quiet little country towns, lovely little getaways. Well, now those places are inundated with population. And whilst people say, well, people have got to live somewhere, yes, they do. However, those areas, once again, have not been looked at by the government and the boffins, the environmentalists, to really look at the impact that this explosion of development has on our water, which affects our trees. Why would I be talking about something like this? Well, one, we have the elemental kingdom that belong to the water and the trees, and they are an integral part of our life. They are an integral part of the human being experience. They are also an integral part of what we need to survive, which is sunshine, rain, fresh air, oxygen, shade, food. Is all fitting together. So these things are very much a spiritual matter, very much. They are majorly important to the future of humanity. And so for those of you who have got young children, these things are of vital importance to the future and the health and the well-being of your children. Those that have got adult children that might be looking at having children themselves, so grandparents for you, well, my goodness me, these things are extremely important. And all of those things affect the union of the soul with the human experience. The other thing that's important in this is colours. Have any of you noticed that colours of buildings have been predominantly grey, charcoal, black in the last few years? It could be 5 or so years, but it's the last few years. There's a reason for that, and it's not at all helpful to the psyche of humans. It's therefore not helpful to the future of humans. So on the weekend, I had the thrill of being with a girlfriend celebrating her 70th birthday, and we went to a restaurant in the Yelling Up area. It is in the it's got vineyards, grapevines and everything surrounding it, and in amongst the grapevines, the vineyard, were these boxes, black, dark charcoal, tall boxes, and that's the only word that I can use to describe them. So they're like pillars, and they're like that with harsh sides, a box, right? And I thought, what in the world are they? And they're black charcoal in among all the beautiful green and the autumn colours of the area. So I asked the waitress, what are those things out there? And she was so happy to tell me that that's our accommodation. And without hesitating, I said, they are so ugly. And she was quite put out and informed me that this is the way of accommodation throughout Europe. That was in her very thick accent, European accent. And I felt like saying, well, this is not Europe. This is Western Australia, and we have all this beauty around us of our big trees and the beautiful colours of autumn, and those buildings look revolting. Now, yeah, Tanya, what's right? Now, the important thing about this is for everyone to pay attention to the loss of colours, because your soul's need for colours is very important to your health. It's very important to your mental and emotional health. So you only have to imagine what a lot of people feel like when there's constantly grey skies, dark skies, and it rains all the time. What goes up during that time? Depression, anxiety, distress. So if we're going to be looking at lots of shopping centres, which we're seeing around the place, that are big chunks of boxes of grey, black charcoal, don't you think that's going to have some serious effect on children, on adolescents? It all affects the mental state of mind, and it affects well-being. These things are being done for a reason. Why? Why would we have revolting black, grey, dark charcoal coloured buildings? There's an entire Mandy Young, oh my gosh, girl, hello. There's an entire suburb south of Perth that every house is identical, and they are identical colours. Grey, black, charcoal. It's so ugly. But to anyone that is on a higher consciousness, there's no way they would live in that area. Did anyone ever see the Stedford Wives movie? That's what this suburb reminds me of. So I was waiting for all the same looking people to come out the doors because you're only allowed to have one of two trees. You get a choice of two species of tree to have in your front yard in that suburb. You know, the higher consciousness has got to increase even more. We have got to have people get their act together and start to live outside of the box that is being put around them. For the sake of humanity, for the sake of even tomorrow, this is really important. Yeah, it's ridiculous, all right, Tanya. The other thing that I want you to think about is flowers. You know, when I grew up, my grandmothers, both of them, and my aunties' places had the most beautiful gardens, and the smells in the gardens. And my grands used to make a point of taking us in the garden and showing us flowers. And of course, as kids, you're like, oh, where's the cake? Where's the treats? You know, but But I'm so glad that we had grandparents like that. And my grandfather grew flowers, and he also had an orchard. So I know what fresh fruit tastes like and what it looks like. I've never forgotten. But kids of today wouldn't have a clue. Wouldn't have a clue. Their parents buy those manufactured grapes that are never in season from the likes of the big chain supermarkets, and they don't even ask where they come from. So flowers, look at the colours. Good girl, Tanya. Look at the colours in flowers, and what do you see? You see the chakras. Now have a look at the garbage colours that are being created by scientists, and then have a look at the rose, which happens to be the flower of Mother Mary, and the rose has tremendous spiritual significance for healing, soul connection, higher alignment. Did you know that? Where can you get a rose that you buy from a florist or, flower person that smells? You can't. And when I went to buy lavender bushes, I couldn't find any lavender bushes that actually smelt like lavender. Now, what do you think that is about? So first we have colour that is being messed with and surrounding everyone in grey, black, charcoal, messes with the emotional, mental psyche of human beings. Then we'll remove smell from flowers. Your olfactory, your sense of smell goes directly to your third eye. Smell is one of the biggest tools, biggest catalysts for your connection to your intuition, to your higher self. Did you know that? So removing colours and putting in bleak, miserable colours, removing smell. Can you see what's going on here? Filling food full of chemicals. A lot of you know that I was on committees at the Royal Perth Hospital here, and they were so proud of themselves launching this lookalike steak-like food. And I demanded to know what was the ingredients, and it didn't win me any brownie points for asking that I wanted to see the ingredients. When we got the list of ingredients, there was not one ingredient that was a food. And this junk is being served to people in hospitals. Yeah, there you go, Tanya. We do now. And I'm loving your engagement and interaction. Thank you, Tanya. Much appreciated. So messing with food, what does that do? Increasing preservatives, increasing false flavors hampers the taste buds. And when we can't taste properly, it's another sense that is being removed, and it's therefore taking you away from connection with your higher self. This is why it's so important. Jackie, hi. Hello. And Cat Gray. This is why it's so important for people to understand and take note of changes with food, changes of smell of flowers, changes with colours that you can see and what's being used in the community around you. The area where I live, they were so happy with themselves building a new shopping centre. Oh my gosh. The mental health hospital, or I shouldn't call it mental health, mental illness asylum is what it used to be here in Perth, was more attractive, more beautiful than this revolting design of a shopping centre. And I was like, well, what's going on there? Interesting. So fake lawn, people that put in fake lawn should have to pay 4 times as much in land rates. That's what I would do if I was in politics, which you'll never see me in politics, of course. But they should have to pay 4 times as much land rates. People who put down loads of concrete, paving, bricks, slabs through their yard should have to pay 4 times as much in rates. People who cut down trees should be charged more rates. Why am I on this bus? Because all of it affects your psyche. All of it is destroying your home, which is the world. All of this takes you away from connection with your soul, your spirit, your higher self, your guides. You can't hear your guides when all your senses are messed up, right? When I take people on a retreat and we do gut health restoration, even just a day, and then mind clearing, oh my gosh, the feedback they give on how sharp their senses are is amazing, and how they feel is amazing. Because I unite them and I ignite their soul with their senses again. So it's really important. Start to look for things that help you use your senses and let your senses come alive. You'll find that you will have much better health, well-being. You will have more ease in your mind. You'll have greater energy. It shifts everything. If you work in an environment that has those dashed awful fluoro lights, they call, those big long tubular things, you're being zapped constantly, and you get holes in your energy fields. Might be little pinpricks, but you get holes in there. And that too takes you away from your senses, which removes you from being able to be aligned with your soul, with your spirit, right? So, oh yeah, fake lawn, horrendous stuff, Tanya. Thanks, Jackie. Fake lawn suffocates the earth. It also creates heat. And what's the last thing that the earth needs? Is forced heat. Terrible. Oh, yes, Tanya, as a gardener, go you, girl. That's awesome. And that also means you're toiling the earth, and you're being able to get into all of the feel of the earth and getting the vibe and all the beautiful things that come from playing in the dirt. Things we were allowed to do and, in fact, encouraged to do as kids, right? Not these days. No, they've got to be on a screen. Now, don't get me started on that. But what I am going to say is I was told by a client the other day that there are a couple of private schools here in Perth that have now brought in physios into the school, actually based in the school. Can you think why? Why would schools bring in physios? When I had my health and wellness centre and I had a team of trainers, and I was also mentor for trainee trainers, I used to say to them, I reckon physios, orthopaedic surgeons, chiropractors, I think they're really rubbing their hands together because they know what is coming for them. And I reckon they're already planning where they're going to spend all that money that they're going to make. Does anybody guess what it is? Why would schools be bringing physios in? Yeah, too right they do, Tanya. They need to get outside. They need to climb trees. They need to go and play in rivers and puddles. They need to be on real lawn. So do pets, by the way. That revolting fake lawn is the worst thing to put your pets on. That's cruel. Aside from concrete. People that keep their pets on concrete and lawn deserve something, I won't say. So, yes, Lisa, and hello. That's right. Kids sitting on screens. So parents that gave their children their phone, an iPad, an iPhone, a whatever when they were little, big enough to hold them, when they were toddlers, and then giving any child from able to hold up to preschool and then into grade 1 and 2. I said to my staff at the time, these kids are going to have headaches, eye problems, posture problems, gut health problems because of holding the screens and having them here. And a couple of my clients were like, oh, really? A couple of my trainers were like, oh, you think so? And here we are. 2 schools in Perth have brought physios in, and I guarantee if Perth are doing it, they've definitely got them over east at different schools as well. And they've brought them in because the kids can't sit up properly, can't concentrate, having trouble with headaches, can't see properly, vision impaired because of screens and because of how much time they've spent on them. A lot of money to be made. It's what the healthcare system's all about these days. So, yeah, that's right. They would need a physio, and that's exactly what's happened, Tanya. So, I foresaw that 10 years ago or whatever it is now, and here we are. I just had to go, oh my gosh, when I was told about the physios being employed by schools here in Perth, 2 private schools. It'll no doubt flow on because, it's a good thing. It's a good lark. So what has any of this, got to do with my work? It's got everything to do with my work, because there is no part of you that is separate. And when I go into Soul and Beyond tonight, that is the message that it's Archangel Metatron and it's also Archangel Uriel that will be fronting up tonight in Soul and Beyond. And this is their very important message to everyone, that we've got to be able to align with our spirit, with our higher self, and also recognizing that there is no part of you and no part of the earth that is separate. I've said this before. Yeah, you're spot on, Tanya. I've said this before, and Lisa, I think it's pretty safe if you're still there. So this is, as you can see, a piece of beautiful amethyst. But if you're walking on, if you're just walking around outside, let me get the shine off that. That's all you're going to see, right? There, look at that. So would you think twice about what you're walking on? Oh, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. You would just be walking, right? And then when you open it up, look at that. So just think about that as you walk around the earth and you walk on the earth. Just think about what you are walking on. Why has it gone blurry? So you can see all these different layers of color. And then I call them teeth because they look like teeth. And can I get it so you can see it better? All these here actually look like roots, and they look just like human teeth, the way human teeth form. So this is what you walk on every day. And this is what is destroyed by mining companies, land developers every day. We just can't keep doing that, because these things bring a vibration to us, a healing vibration. They play a huge part in our healing. So the contrary part is, well, Gwenda, what are you doing holding a piece of that? If you're saying we shouldn't be mining it, we shouldn't be this and that. And that is a very valid question. On the flip side, I say to you that we are given these things to help us, but we are not supposed to destroy the earth to get them, as in recklessly, with, all abandonment, just tear the world up and leave it in a state like mining companies do. And anybody from a mining company will be saying, oh my gosh, but we put everything back. No, you jolly well don't. You do a revegetation, but you do not put the land back the way it was, because that can never be done. And you don't put back the water. You know, a long time ago, people were telling me that deep sea oil and gas companies, they touted themselves as being tremendously environmentally friendly, because where they were sucking oil out of the ocean, they were putting water back into it. I'm not sure if you've ever tried putting oil and water together in the motor of your car, or oil and water together in a lawnmower or something like that. As far as I know, and I'm not a mechanic, but they don't go together, right? So putting putting water back down where you've taken oil from, oh, really? So the destruction is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. To really think about what you're walking upon and to know that you are part of it. If you were to go and spend time with Indigenous people around the world, their connection with the earth is incredible, and they use it for healing. They don't use it for destruction. And they're way ahead of these environmentalists and, scientific boffins. I'm being facetious again. Yeah, but I can back it up with fact, right? And you, as my audience, you can also think very easily about it and see the damage. Zoe, hello. That's exactly right. And yes, Lisa, raping and pillaging the earth. Yes, Zoe, it's very important to think about what we are walking upon. So an article that I wrote was about, what do your footsteps leave on the earth? Because you carry energy. You are energy. And whatever you are carrying in your energy, as you walk upon the earth, you're imprinting that. So what is your energy imprint on the earth? And what do you do with the earth, to the earth, as you go about your life? Do you put loads of bitumen, bricks, rocks and things, not rocks, but slabs and things like that down? Do you cover your yard in that rubbish? Do you put the fake lawn down? These things cripple the earth. They therefore cripple you. And they cripple the animals. And again, we need the animals. The animals are a big part of our entire picture. Very important part. Oh, yeah, Zoe. Zoe has common sense. Been lost. But I tell you what, everyone, as I said, I came in to say, where are you? Because you were all asking me last week, where am I? And where am I doing my lives? What's happening with my life? So I wanted to know, where are you? And I wanted to know what was going on with our posts about soul and beyond, because of the way Facebook is. Are they reaching you? Are you not seeing them? So I'm putting the link here again for you. And I'm going off to prepare to have Archangel Metatron and Archangel Uriel come and speak to everyone tonight in Soul and Beyond. And that reminder for you that when you register on the, I don't know why there's two there, but if you register on the proper one, see, now Facebook have helped themselves in there. Yes, Lisa. When you register on there, you can watch the video anytime. You don't have to be there with me, but when you are with me, then who knows what you're going to receive. And you can talk to me like you have tonight on here, so we can chat. So this is where I am, and I want to see you over there. Come on over, and don't tell me you haven't got time or it's too hard. It's not that hard. If you can register yourself for all sorts of other things and join, you know, all sorts of other seminars and things or whatever, you can pop your name and email address in to join Soul and Beyond, right? So Tanya, Lisa, Kat, I'll look forward to seeing you very shortly, and everyone else, mwah, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you on Soul and Beyond. You just might get a big surprise. So thanks, everyone. That's awesome, Tanya. I hope you've registered, Tanya. Make sure you register. You can't come into it if you don't register, okay? Really important. And I like to work on platforms that have got very good ethics, very good morals, and that's why I'm over on Soul and Beyond, not on Facebook. Okay. See everyone. See you soon on Soul and Beyond.